I started my business journey back in 2019. I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I too needed to find something that would actually fit easily into my actual job, because we worked those long 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, and just felt like I was missing out on, family time. I think that's the biggest thing, is that time freedom that most of us are actually missing out on. And that's why we want to find something on the side to help us, replace some of those finances. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So thank you everyone for being here. I just want to pass it on to Grace. Grace, let us know what's going on for you and how everything is going.
Thank you so much, Dustin. My name is Grace. I'm originally from Nigeria. I now reside in the United States. I'm a nurse. I work in the emergency department as a registered nurse. I have two awesome boys, and also I'm a proud digital business owner. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. And
Hi everyone. I'm Anushri. I'm originally from Gujarat, India, and I'm currently living in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. From past 12 years. So yeah, it has been a long journey as an immigrant here, and my background is pharmaceutical background. So I used to work in a vaccine company. So it was a very hectic work, and again, we also have to be there for 10 to 12 hours per day. So our schedules were very tight, and I also worked a second job just to make ends meet. And so I was working 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that is when I decided to find something that gave me flexibility, and hoped to quit my second job, so at least I can have full-time job and have a side hustle which I can do from anywhere. So yeah, that's my story.
Yay.
Hi everyone. I'm Shravya Koni. Andarki namaskaram. So I am a mom of two sons and also a HR by profession. So currently I'm running this business from the comfort of my home. And I'm so happy, to share my story today. And also, Dustin, I think we will be adding so much of information about and insights about our business today. So before that, I was also working as a HR before, I was in India, but currently I'm a stay-at-home mom. But I had a very big language barrier when I came down to Germany, and many of the European countries have this problem. And I had a language barrier, because of which I was looking for different opportunities, and I found this online opportunity. And today I'm a proud digital business owner. I am really enjoying and having fun in my business and learning so many skills and techniques which I was not aware before.
Well, that's amazing. Thanks, guys, so much for sharing your stories. It's going to be great to kind of get to know you guys a little bit over time as well. And the great thing about our business is that it's just growing so drastically, not on only the people that are coming and not only in how people grow in their confidence, right, in this business, but we're actually growing in the aspect of having captions now from different languages from all over the world to be able to understand our training platform. So realistically, when it comes to this business, it doesn't always just have to be full on English, right? If you have a different language, you can still learn in this business. And that's why it's so beautiful, right? That anybody from all around the world can learn more about this business. So that's the amazing thing, right? So, but what I want to know most, just to kind of share a little bit of my story, and then I want to know a little bit more about your stories, especially when it comes to our topic on what it is like, or what it was like for you guys, starting this business journey with having kids, right? Or trying to fit in family, I want to really know the flexibility of this business, right? So for me, when I began my business journey, 6 years ago, I was actually in school full time, right? I was working at the hospital full time. I was doing homework. I also had family to attend to, and then growing this business, right? So people are like, oh my God, how did you manage so many things all at once? But that's the beauty of this business, right? It's so flexible, right? You can get through the training so quickly and within 1 to 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks really doesn't matter. It's really up to you, right? Because it's set at your own pace. But again, right, the training platform is actually so easy for a majority of us. It's all step by step, right? So if you're kind of watching and you're like, well, I'm not really tech savvy, so what do I do? That's okay. You don't have to be because the training is so thorough, right? But the beauty of it is I was able to run, and do advertising from school, right? Because I was able to set and go. And that's what I love about the automated system, right? You set your advertisements and you go. And so that's why it's automated, right? So you're able to actually have business inquiries no matter where you are all around the world. So that's the beauty, right? So we know that flexibility is there because I was able to do things, whether I was at home, whether I was at school, whether I was with family, right? My actual business was always on the go with me and it was always running. And we talk about 24 hours of automated system, right? So I don't have kids, right? So I'm just like, by myself. So, but that's okay. But I mean, I do have a partner and stuff, right? So that's different. But I mean, for me, it's a little bit different. My family are my niece and nephew and then my mom, right? So it's important that I have time with them as well, right? Because life is short. So, but for the people who do have kids, I really want to know what it's like for you guys. So Grace, can you share a little bit about your experiences when it came to this business, the flexibility that it gives to you to be able to be with your two kids? I'd love to know.
Yeah. With my two kids, I've been able to be a bit. So before my kids, I have a 10 and a 12. So, with that, they were able to understand a bit. They were able to understand what business is all about. So before I started, what I did was to sit them down and let them understand what I'm into. So when you let your kids, especially those maybe even preschool, some preschool age, school age, preteens, teens, they will understand. When you sit them down and tell them your plans, let them know how this you might be with them at home, or you just let them know, hey kids, if you need anything, you just come over to me, and that's why I am at home with you. The joy of just seeing them around me, being on my computer, doing something, chatting, it's the joy for me. It's not like me going to my 9-to-5 jobs. I am somewhere, they are somewhere. I come back after 6 days work. I mean 6 days with more than 12 hours. Sometimes I work 12.5 hours, 30 hours, depending. I work in the emergency department. So if at the juncture when you are about leaving, everything just turned upside down, you want to stay back and say, oh, let me assist people. So sometimes you might want to stay some overtime before coming back just to save lives. And while I was saving lives, I felt I'm missing on children. Now me coming back home tired, sleeping. In the evening again, they are back from school. I'm on bed, try standing up, preparing something for them to eat, or they get something to eat. They want to talk with me. Most times I become so irritable because when they were talking to me, it was as if, what are you guys saying? Okay, talk about it later. And when you are piling up things for your preteens, you know what it means. When they want to speak with you, when they want to connect with you, what will you do? They will rather go back to their peers and ask questions, or they go to social media and look for answers. Yeah. So what are we doing? Yeah. And that is the basis for me. No. Something must be done. And so I'm so happy seeing them because I've told them earlier on, I'm going into the digital business. So mama can have more time with you. I'm so happy seeing myself going to stadiums. They love skating. So we go to stadium, they go to all these trampoline parks, I'm there. Everybody together, and I say, oh, this is so awesome. And the beauty of the business, like Dustin has said, flexibility. So it's so flexible that you have what you can do flexibly. You can do the hours of the day you want to do it, right? Yeah. And if, as I'm with you now, I'm at home, and this is part of our business that we are doing, because we are trying to help other people to become digital business owners so that they also can have the control of their time. We are no more tight schedules, rigid schedules, 9 to 5 every day, right? And that is why we are here. And so my kids are getting along with me, and we are getting along with one another. Happy. Yesterday, they asked, Mom, are you going to work? They were so glad yesterday. I was like, no, I'm not going to work. See how they were jumping. So
yeah, right. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the beautiful thing about this business.
Yeah.
That's what I think about the beautiful thing about this business as well, is that it's not just the financial freedom that we're trying to seek out. It's that time freedom, right? That time freedom we get is priceless when it comes to this business, right? Those moments, of your kids growing up, you'll never get back, right? So to be able to spend that time with them now is what's important, right? So, because we don't know how short life is, right? Tomorrow we might not wake up, unfortunately, but that's the realistic outcome, the truth of the matter, right? So it's important to be able to live in the now. So thanks, Grace, for sharing your story. It's such a great thing to be able to hear from different situations, different aspects, and to know that, your kids are like, Mom, you're actually staying at home with us, and then, their reaction is just priceless, right? So that's what I think so many other moms are looking for, so many other families are looking for, right? Is to have those moments, right? And those are the beautiful moments that we can't take away. So thanks for sharing, right? We're definitely going to circle back. Shravya, I would like to really know, because you come from, you're in Germany right now, so it's like a place that I've always wanted to travel to, right? But it would be obviously different situations for different households and different people, right? We all have different jobs. You're an HR advisor, we're in healthcare as well, so it'd be a little bit different. But I want to know your situation. So we really would love to know what brought you into the business, right? What got you here? And then also, what is it like for you to juggle the family that you have and the dynamic of your, would it be corporate job, I would imagine, government job, HR, right? So I would like to really hear from you and see what that's all about.
Yeah, sure, Dustin, because I just want to take you back a bit, because a few years ago, I was just working in a stable job, as I said, as a HR. On the outside, it looked fine. I had a degree, I had experience, and I was doing what many would consider as successful. But on the inside, something was missing. And I was, running on a autopilot. It's like work, home, responsibilities, repeating the same thing. And, after I became a mom, everything has changed for me. The life has totally changed. And I, started feeling torn. I wanted to be there for my kid, truly to be present, and, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It's like, I also didn't want to give up on me, on my dreams. And on the identity part, I had, beyond being just someone's employee, or I just don't want to be like that. And even just someone's mom also. It's like, I always wanted to be an independent woman, leading more meaningful life with purpose. So one day when I saw this ad on social media, I immediately took that, first step, watching that webinar, which is for 90 minutes. And, just immediately I took that action, and I am inside, not just for side income, I would say, but for something more. Now, here's the thing. I didn't had all the answers in the beginning. I was not a tech savvy. I was not sure about online space and how to find that extra time. I had many questions, and, I had that kind of low confidence also in me. But I had one thing stronger than all of that, a desire, that burning desire that take my, time freedom, and also the financial freedom that I was seeking. So that's how I, started my digital journey, with that one decision. And, I started small, learning, exploring, showing up consistently, even when no one was there to see me or to, clap for me. Sometimes I used to sit overnights without sleep. Some days I failed, but little by little, I have grown my business, and I gained back my confidence, something which I'm able to do today. I'm really, very happy that I took up that step, and I found this business model that really works on automation and digital tools, and the mentorship coaching, which we are getting through the global community, which is really good, and everybody lifts each other up, right? So I found myself again, I would say.
Right, which I love, right? And I just kind of want to circle back to something that you mentioned there about feeling like you failed at one point, right? But I wouldn't really necessarily see it as a failure, right? Because that's going to propel you and push you to that growth that you're looking for. And that's what you had said, right? You came up the other side with that, right? So it's a beautiful story to kind of listen to and hear, right? Because realistically, anything like if we ever feel like, we're being rejected in something, I always take that as being the universe's way of giving me a redirection to something better, right? Or something else, right? So I always try to remind people on that piece, right? In their life, if they're ever feeling like it's rejection, I don't really necessarily see it as rejection. It's just a redirection. right? And so, there's also people out there in the world that we know that are always trying to pull us down, right? Or being like, don't do that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and trying to control us, right? Or tell us what we should and shouldn't do. I always say that in my life, it's like what other people think of me is none of my business, because realistically, it's not, right? It's on them, right? And so we are living examples of where we are today because we followed that intuition, right? To push ourselves to something better, like you had said, right? You wanted something better in your life, and it pushed you to be where you are today. So, it's an awesome story, right? So, and it's just gonna get better, right? That confidence is just gonna grow further, right? Every day, right? You're gonna get closer and closer to those dreams, right? So, so thank you so much for sharing. And, for me, actually, just kind of want to put this out there, right? For people that are watching, I was doing my business for the last 6 years now. And last month, I actually quit my job. So, right? So,
congratulations.
That's the business, right? So, where you are getting those, like we talk about the income, right? And the financial freedom and stuff, right? And people are always like, well, what are you making and stuff? Well, I mean, I don't mind sharing, right? It's a big thing. We hear it on the webinars that we push people to. But, last month I took home, close to $11,000, right? So it took that would be like 2.5 to 3 months in nursing to make that money. And I made that in 1 month, right? Like, it's just crazy the financial freedom and what ability is here in this business to propel us to, right? So, but again, it's not about just the financial freedom, it's the time freedom, because now I can be doing my business and then spend it with my family, which was always my desire, and travel, right? We all have those dreams, but they always seem so far to reach, right? But they're there. The ability is there for everybody, right? That, takes that next step into this journey. So, so thank you for sharing. And I just want to circle all the way to, oh my goodness, please say it again.
Chemistry.
I'm like,
I get this every time.
Sorry. So now I want to circle back, and just come back to Canada, because we went to the US, we went to Germany, and I'm in Canada here. So I would really love to hear your story, right? What it's like for you. I believe you also have a family too, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, I have a daughter.
So I'd really love to know, what it's like, obviously, within healthcare, because we're in healthcare as well, the three of us here, and then also to having a family. So how does the business fit into having a job and then having a family? What is it? Obviously, we know it's flexible, but you can kind of just share a little bit of what that's like for you.
Thank you so much, Dustin. My journey was a little bit reversed. So I started back again, same as your year, 2019. I started my journey in August 2019, and back then I didn't have my daughter. My daughter was born in end of 2020. So I was a proactive person and started this journey. So I was doing 2 jobs anyway. I was doing 2 jobs. So I wanted my first goal. The reason I started this journey was to quit my second job. I had no intention to quit my full-time job because it was my dream job again. I wanted to be in pharmaceuticals because when I came to this country, I had my bachelor's in pharmacy already, but it was so hard to get a field job here. So I worked in restaurants, coffee shops, you name it. I worked everywhere, and finally I landed to my field job. So that was a dream come true. And I wanted to go into the research department where we research different kind of vaccines and everything. So it was literally my dream job to become research scientist. And I was in there, but due to my second part-time, I wanted to quit that part-time. I started this business. That was the only reason, just for extra money. That was the only reason I started this business. But the question is, how am I going to start it with 2 jobs, right? I was already working 10 to 12 hours, 7 days a week. And then I have this training to do. But it was not that hard. When I started it, it was literally very easy, step by step, because again, the process we go through is easy. The thing is, I only spend 1 to 2 hours. I used to use my travel time. I used to use my break time. I used to wake up a little bit early in the morning, sleep a little bit late night. So that made me, because I knew, because if I do this, I can quit my second job. So I can have that 4 hours of time each single day for me. So, and again, our automation, our ads, our, funnels, everything helped me a lot in this, because I just set my ad and then I go to my work and it just works in the background. So that was the best part. So if anyone is saying, I don't have time with my 9 to 5, you have time. So you have to take out of time. If you really want to quit your 9 to 5, you will have to take out that time out of that 9 to 5. And again, our automated system is cherry on the cake, because you don't have to spend any time on that automated system. Your questions will be answered. You'll get leads, you'll get inquiries, everything on automation. So yeah, and again, when I got pregnant, I had some complications. So unfortunately, I had to quit my job during COVID because I was working in a high chemical lab, which my doctor did not recommend it to go, and it was very necessary. And I had very bad morning sickness, which my weight was decreasing, and doctor is like, you cannot go to work. And that was another breaking point in my life. It was like, okay, so what in future if this moment comes where I am not physically able to work? What will happen? And that's when this business came into my life as a blessing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on this business 100% because I am on leave, I'm on medical leave, and this is my chance to just be on this business. And that made me quit my full time. I never went back to my job after my maternity leave. So I am still going on my part time. I am still on my part-time, but only 1 to 2 days a week. And that's because I love that place. I love the people there. So that was my choice to go there. It wasn't my, thing that I have to go there to earn money. So it was a very different scenario right now. If I want to quit my second job, I would like my part-time, I would have done it, no problem, because I'm already earning from this business.
Exactly.
So this gave me that power to, choose. The power of choice is very important here. As a mom, I think Shravya mentioned that, as a mother, you should have that power of choice. When you have a baby, you don't have to pick one, either your career or either your, motherhood. You can get both together. And I want to mention this, like Dustin said, I remember that people are going to, slam you. People are going to tell you not to do this and blah, blah, blah. When I started this, I know some of my friends that told me, wait till you have your baby. You will quit this. You will have no time because you have a baby. I want to say this. I ran my business. I grew my business with my baby on my side, and now she is looking up to me. And I know whenever I'm on my laptop, she knows that my mom is working, and I should not disturb her, or she has that expectation. So you have to teach your kids to have that expectation, and you cannot let them be your weakness. You have to have them be your strength. So if you're working more than one job, if you are a mother, you should not have any excuse of not doing this business, because literally this is working in the background. So this is my story, and I hope I was able to inspire someone. And I think a purpose of this business for me to join is, being a Gujarati, I think it's very important for me to come up here, because we are still back into that traditional businesses. As a Gujarati, all Gujaratis really want to have that physical traditional business of a motel, of gas stations, of grocery stores, and I'm still having trouble to convert them. And I just wanted to say this to everyone, your language should not be a barrier, because we have this training site in all the languages. So if you cannot speak English, if you only can speak Gujarati, this is for you. And second thing, I know someone, I work for a grocery store as well, a Gujarati grocery store, and the wife of that owner is my mentee right now. I want to share this story because I used to work for them, and now she is working with me in this business. So this is a big change, because she want her husband to stop their grocery store. Why? Because he's there for, I think, 25 years. He's working there 12 hours a day, every single day. So they don't have their family time. They cannot travel, even though they are earning a good amount from their own businesses, but the time, they're lacking in time. So that's the only reason the wife started this business. And so now she can retire her husband early, and then they can just travel the world at their, retirement time. So so if you are in a traditional business, I think you should at least look at this business and have a second chance, and you can have your life back from this. So that's everything for me. Back to you, Dustin.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's great. I love it, right? But I mean, the beautiful thing when you look at our business, right? We're not even doing it for just ourselves. We're doing it for our kids, right? We know that when you have kids, this business can be passed down as a legacy, right? And that's the beautiful thing. You set it up now, and you pass it down to your children when we're not here any longer, right? And that's the amazing thing, right? And when we circle back, right, there's probably so many people, if they're watching or thinking or inquiring, right, why are doctors getting into this business, lawyers, or nurses, or whomever, right? They make good money. But at the end of the day, like we spoke about, it's not about the money, it's about the time freedom, because those people are always working and never with their family. So yeah, they might make like, you know, $200,000 a year or $300,000 a year, but those people are getting into this business to get their time freedom back, right? That they're taken away from their families and those things that are important to them, right? So that's why they join this business. And another thing that I love most about this business, if you came to me and told me, hey, Destin, sell a product, I'm like, no, I'm good. Get me out of here, right? I can never do it, right? Or you hear about those things like, is it an MLM or is it pyramid scheme? Well, we know those things are illegal. We would never take any sort of action. I wouldn't, right? I don't think you guys would either into those sort of businesses, right? We know here from Canada, we get a T4 at the end of every year to do our taxes. In the US, you get a 1099. Obviously, in Germany, it would be something around the same, right? To do your taxes at the end of every year to know your business is legit, right? You know, I just incorporated my business as well. So another reason why your businesses are legitimate, right? So again, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, do I have to sell a product? No, our automated system does the indirect selling for us, right? That's why we do advertising. That's why we do social media marketing, right? That's why we do attraction marketing, because you're attracting people to us, right? Through our website, through our sales funnel, to then do the actual closing for us, right? That's why I love it, right? If you told me take anything, do anything, stock a bunch of inventory, try to sell products, I'd be like, no, I couldn't let you fail at it, right? So there's no need for that. We do a little bit of content creation, right? A little bit of lifestyle lifestyle marketing. So many beautiful things when it comes into this business, right? And sometimes people just follow you for the inspiration of seeing where you were 6 years ago to where you are now, right? They don't always take action because they want that finances, right? A lot of people take action because they're inspired by you and they want to be like you, right? It's not that you make good finances or good money. It's they are like, hey, I see that lifestyle. I want that lifestyle. I'm going to take action today because you inspired me. Right. So another amazing thing. So, you know, I know that we're getting 26 minutes here. It's totally fine. You know, I'm totally enjoying it. It's great. But what I want to know from everybody, if we can kind of, you know, do a little closing here, and then we'll talk about the very end. I'll circle back on how people can kind of move forward if they're interested. But I want to know each one of yours biggest achievement when it comes to this business. Okay. Meaning it doesn't have to be financially. It doesn't have to be, right? I just want to know your biggest achievement, right? So for me, yes, financial freedom has been great. The time freedom has been great. You know, I'm a job quitter now. I'm debt free at 39. But my big achievement besides those things is to see myself grow as an individual, right? And my confidence, right? When it comes to fear, right? I used to be scared. Right? I used to be scared of failure, right? I used to think I was going to fail at the things that I would start, so I would never start it, right? That was me in a nutshell, right? But now I'm confident, or going in front of a camera like this, I would never do it, right? I'd scurry away and be like, no, I'm good, you know, pass, right? Or I would, in nursing school, right, we'd have to get in front of our peers and do a presentation, and I'd be there shaking, like, oh my God, I can't do this, right? Or I'd stumble or stutter. And now I'm just like, hey, this is just me. Right? That's why I take that saying, right? What other people think of me is none of my business, right? Because realistically, that's what I take into everything I do now. And that's what's giving me that confidence, right? So it's not just about those other things. For me, it's that mindset, right? That confidence in myself as an individual that I'm going to take into the world besides this business, right? To my family and help them, right? And that's what I love about this business. So, I'm going to circle back to Grace because she's up, and then we're going to go right, and then we're going to go down, and we'll finish with Stravia, and then I'll do
awesome.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Justin. So as you said, aside from the financial blessings, one real thing about this business that has done for me is that I'm able to realign with my purpose, realign with whom I am. Before I started this business, I was shattered. I was scattered. Like I do say, it was as if a part of me was disconnected from me because I was sucked up in multiple jobs, long hour shifts. Like I couldn't really connect with whom I am. I knew I had potentials, but sometimes I would wake up so heavy. I would be so heavy, like I do not know what is going on until I found this business. You know, everything became more clearer. I became more connected with my God. I love God. Before we look, I love God. But when I came here, you know, when you go on shift that, the only thing was just to mutter some prayers before when you are driving or something. You know that intimacy you have with your Father. Oh my God. I love it. So if you are a Christian, you love your God, you have done this business, come into this business. I'm telling you, you will have that timing to really have much more intimacy with your Father. Then, thirdly, my children. I've been able to connect more with them. I am a big fan of parenting. I love parenting. I love teaching positive values to my children. So whenever they do something wrong, sometimes then I do hold it, because I will say, oh, I've not told them this. There are some things as parents you have to really instill in your children if you want them to align with your values, because life is all about values. When we teach our kids values, they know what to do outside, and they know what not to do. And that is the children living with values. And when they grow up, they will come up with it. That is the way they would go. And see, you cannot parent in retrospect. It is not possible. So it is your time that they need now. You are not there now. Whenever they get older, you can call them back to this age to tutor them. It's not possible. So these are the blessings I have received in this business. They are so awesome, and continually seeing the better version of me every day, building potential, unleashing the potentials in me, seeing the best of me every day. I am so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. Helping people out there is another great blessing. Thank you so much.
Yay. Thanks, Grace. And Nurshay, I'd love to hear about yours.
Yeah, thank you, guys. So for me, the number one thing that I achieved is I found myself. So that was the biggest thing. Back, if anyone knows me from my school days or my college days, I would not raise my hand up in the class. Even if I have the right answer, I was confident I have the right answer, but I would not, because I thought people would laugh at me. And that was where we grew, that you are not supposed to talk in front of 10,000 people. And being a girl, you're not supposed to talk in front of people. So that was two things which our values were like, okay, you cannot speak up. And that's where I found myself that, I didn't knew I could do public speaking. Now at this moment, if you ask me to stand up in front of 10,000 people, I would just come up and just speak. So that is the biggest change I found in myself, that, I could speak, I'm allowed to speak and I can speak. And second thing was power of choice. And again, being a woman, being a girl, you don't have a lot of choices in your life. And that's when this business gave me that choice to make that, I can be a mom, I can be a business owner, I can be anything I want in my life. So there are the two biggest things I found. And I always say this in my videos, that you can make money from doing 5 jobs. It's up to you. You can find money from everywhere, but you cannot find yourself in any employment. So if you want to find yourself, if you want to help people, if you want to inspire people, I think this is one of the platforms you can come up and just discover yourself and help people. Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And lastly, Shravya, give it to us.
Yeah, sure, Dustin. I think, after listening to both of them, I think, I need to say mine also, because I had grown a lot through this business, in every way, because in personal way and also in the professional way. And I had a lot of setbacks before, I had that low confidence in me. I felt, somewhere lost myself. And after coming to this business, I learned everything by my own. And I was not expecting that, because I thought I couldn't do this, but everything happened on time. I think God gave me this opportunity on a right time, and I took that action immediately, and I could see myself growing in leaps. And I was not, as I told, I was not aware of the technical skills. No, I was not social media person. Everything now I can speak in front of so many people so confidently, and I gain back my confidence. I can see that I have just changed myself totally. And even through our sessions, through our next sessions, which happens every day, I learned so many things. And recently I actually lost my father also 2 months back, and it just shattered my life. But still, through these sessions, through these great leaders who are actually sharing so many things, I was able to get back to my life. And today I don't want to sorry but I stood for myself, and I got back, and I'm able to run my business without any break, because even if we take break also, we can come back in our business, right? We have that option also. Yeah. So I even after having all those things, I was able to write my journal. I was able to write some affirmations, do that gratitude things every day. So I learned so many things through this business. It's not about income, I would say. It's like you find yourself again, and that is more important in life for everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you. It's kind of like, that's what I love too, is that when you find yourself, that's the beautiful piece in anything, right, that the world can give you, because then you're able to give back to the world at that point when you know yourself really well, right? And so, I kind of can relate to your story, because I did lose my dad in 2021 as well, right? So I know what that's like to lose someone that you look up to in that role model, right? And what that does to you, right? I actually had to take 2.5 years off of this business, right? I had to walk away, I had to park it, right? I couldn't operate. I was a mess. I had to support my family. So I understand, right? But again, another thing that created passive income for me and my family, right? When I did have to step away and focus on my dad, which, you can't do in a 9-to-5 job, right? There's no way you can have that passive income. You got to beg for vacation time or sick time or short-term disability. And what is that? But I was actually living proof that this is passive income, because I'm not even showing up, right? I'm not even doing my business on a daily basis. Right. It's just created that passive income for me. Where could you do that? So I can spend time with those people that, I love the most, and that's my family. And again, to circle back there for you, right? It's that driving force now, right? To do this business, the importance of this business now at this point, because that's what gave me that driving force as well, to continue on and circle back to this business, and knowing that we talked about earlier, life is short. You don't know whatever's going to happen in your life, right? So live it now, live it to the fullest. Don't wait until you're 60, 65, 70. You should try to live life on what's left. It is living in the moment now and doing something that will capture yourself and people around you, right? Because we're not only changing our lives, we're changing people around our lives, right? And that's the whole premise of the business, right? And why we do this. So again, guys, thank you so much. If people are watching and you're like feeling some sort of inspiration or want to take action, we do have the websites below, because you can kind of, pause it, go back and check. If you're feeling like you want to learn more and you're watching from whomever, then just send us a quick message, right? And say, hey, your live today inspired me and I want to learn more about that business. And please do that. Don't be shy, right? We're just another regular individual. We're all living proof, and probably we're in the exact same situation you were, watching us today, right? So again, if you're feeling like you want to take action and move ahead, feel free to message any one of us and we will direct you to the next steps. Okay, guys?
Yep.
Anything else that you guys want to close off with? You guys have anything else you want to say?
No. I think we're pretty good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you guys watching and being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great one.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.